Hello, and welcome back to the Fasting Focused Lifestyle Podcast. This week might get a little uncomfortable. For those that have held any negativity towards this lifestyle in any way, shape, or form, either gotten negativity from others towards them or felt negativity about this experience altogether, this episode is for you. Episode for the haters. Stay tuned. First off, before we get started, let me take one little moment to give you a bit of love in a virtual hug. I hope you felt that. Okay, if you're looking for a reason to be angry, upset with fasting, or anyone who fasts, or if you're upset with me personally, this is your episode. So I feel like throughout this journey, there has been a lot of inner dialogue that just kind of bubbles up to the surface. And for those that have been on this journey for an extended period of time, longer than a month or more, know exactly what I'm talking about. As we progress further along in our journey and we get past that initial honeymoon-like stage of being really successful right at the start, because ideally, if you've ever also done any previous forms of weight loss, you know that initial whoosh and success that can happen right in the beginning of your experience and journey in your weight loss efforts. But then as we start to reach that kind of dreaded plateau word, side note, if you want to hear me talk more about plateaus, I have a whole episode dedicated to it about why I love plateaus. So once you reach past that honeymoon phase of getting a really good stride and getting further along in your journey, we start to get the negativity and doubt and verbiage start to bubble up, especially if you're not consistently seeing progress in your journey, whether it be pant size, bodily feelings, or the scale. If you're obsessed with the scale, this is for you as well. I want you to think about how valuable, first off, this is. Using fasting in whatever form you're using, please, I hope you're taking a moment to take ownership and pride. Acknowledge, even if you've only had as small as 5 pounds or so of success in this, that's better than where you started, right? Right. So as you get further on in this journey, those thoughts, feelings, and opinions of how previous methods have worked for you start to bubble up to the surface when we're not seeing that continued expectation be met of what you felt like and thought about this journey and experience when you first started and first got, caught your stride and feeling really good. And you're seeing like 5 pounds this week. And the next week it's like 7. And then all of a sudden maybe 3. Or if you're even at a larger number like I was, my first 2 weeks, I lost 21 pounds. But I knew as those thoughts and feelings started bubbling up to the surface, this is where I allowed myself to see and understand this journey and experience started to get so much more valuable to me, because I knew further on that I got, this was an opportunity to reflect inward and learn and think about what about this practice, process, experience, deliberate choice, habits, etc. that I'm doing, using, making a normal part of my routine. What modifications need to happen? Because that's really, to me, that's what it came down to, is how can I see what I've been doing so far, pivot, change, modify, improve, remove, etc. to keep myself going forward. And to me, like, if you allow this first kind of reason here of reaching that plateau, start to get into your thoughts and minds of, it's just like this other method. Didn't happen this way, same way that this person or that person. Or if you're comparing your journey to me, please stop. Like, do not compare your journey to mine at all whatsoever. I want you to feel like an excited sense of gamification towards your journey, instead of feeling like I'm wasting my time. I should be here by now, or whatever. Realize that when you allow that verbiage spinning to live and exist and continue in your head, you're wasting time. You're wasting such valuable time and energy on fixating and ruminating on what's going wrong. Oh, I'll never this. That takes so much time and so much energy from this initial thoughts, feelings, experience when you first came in. What I would encourage you then is to think about how you can meet those fears, apprehensions, and reservations that bubble up to the surface, judgments, whatever, even if they're from other people's society. If you're 80s, 90s child and you grew up with like skinny culture being just shoved in your face 24/7, I know exactly what those feelings feel like. And feeling like you'll always be this, you'll always be that. If we allow that space to be filled with feelings of unworthiness and self-deprecation, we're going to stay there. If you fixate on that, you will stay there and you'll waste your time. You'll waste your time of your precious life. And I don't want that for you. I didn't want that for myself. So this is your reminder. Meet that negativity, verbiage, judgment that you've got that comes up, that will come up. Meet it head on and dismantle it. Allow yourself to reflect back on what that feeling of excitement, zest, and passion filled you in the beginning. Find ways to keep that momentum going, because that's your momentum. That's your life zest. Mojo, for those Austin Powers fans like me. Keep your mojo. Keep your mojo. Address what does not serve your mojo. Keep your mojo. The next thing I want to talk a little bit more about is how if you are holding those negativity feelings, whether you're giving judgment to others, if other people around you are doing fasting, or if you've ever felt it yourself, holding that negativity and letting it live within your thoughts, feelings, mind, as you get further along in this journey, it hurts and affects you way more than it does anybody else. And if you have this feeling, if you have this acceptance that negativity will always live in me, or I'm so bitter, I'm so blah, blah, what is allowed will continue. So that continues to spin and exist and grow. And to me, if you've heard my previous episodes where I talk about these things and emotions being tunnels, those are what I would call the mental weeds. So if you've got a treasure trove of mental weeds existing in your headspace, this is me, hypothetically, virtually over the podcast universe. This is me handing you a machete saying, you can chop through those weeds. You absolutely can. But most often, if you've had that thoughts, ruminating, and feelings and judgment exist in your headspace and really in your body too, because you can feel it and it lives in your body and your muscles and joints as well. This is me handing you a machete saying you can cut through them. It might take a lot of work to get through one weed at a time, but I tell you right now, your quality of life, length of life, ability to get to where you want to be will be determined by how passionate, proactive, productive you are in dismantling those weeds attentively, one at a time, and realizing how much power you have over your thoughts, feelings, and opinions to uproot those mental weeds, to dismantle them, to say, this is not mine. This is a judgment from others. This is a limiting belief that I've held, a historic belief from years ago. This is not my responsibility. This does not belong to me. And chop it out, pull it up, whatever you got to do. But you need to address those mental weeds, because if you don't and you push through and ignore them, it will take over and it will affect the length and quality of your life. I promise you, despite any efforts, any best efforts, let those thoughts, feelings, and ruminate in your mind and affect you. Sorry, but you are looking at a short, miserable life. And lastly, I want to remind you that misery loves company. And if you find that you are continuing to allow this rumination to exist and continue, it spreads. It spreads like a toxic virus. And if you've ever noticed people that are miserable, they love sharing their misery with others. But also, love and happiness are infectious, contagious even. How powerful is it that when you fix and align what has been working for you, seeing the joy, the pleasure, what benefit comes to you from making these deliberate changes of abstaining from eating from sunup to sundown? That's where it starts. Attention to that and realizing, hey, I don't need to eat all day long. I'm just going to compress the amount of time that I'm eating each day. And watch what your body does for you. Just watch. You realize how simple, beautiful, magical, capable you really are. And how much that ripples into your life. Not just in that moment, not just weeks, months. We're talking years for the rest of your life. To me, that is the most beautiful gift and honor you can do for yourself now and for future you. Because if you have family, kids, that will affect you generations to come. Think about that. How much ability you have. You have so much ability to switch. If that's been the normal of hate, judgment, body image shaming, blah, 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 just noise and chaos and mental weeds just rooting and growing and getting out of control, you can switch it, you can flip it, and make it work for you. I'm living proof of that. You can absolutely do this. I believe in you so much. It's possible. This is me just reminding you yet again. The quality and length of your life is completely up to you. So what are you going to make of it? Are you going to let yourself spin and spew in negativity in yourself and onto others? Or allow yourself to sit and ruminate and spin when you get negativity in your life, whether you hear it or it's spoken to you, about you, wherever? You can do it. You can absolutely turn things around and improve all of that for your life. Just through a simple practice and lifestyle of fasting. Yeah. Because I believe in you, even if you don't. If you are in need of support on your fasting journey, I'm here, I care, and I know you can do it. Please reach out, thefastingfocusedlifestyle.com. I have lots of resources for any type of support that you could need or want. And I look forward to supporting you on your journey. Take care, and we'll talk again next time.